Electric cars are the future, and each year we've seen automakers add more EVs to their lineup. Everyone is working on electric vehicles, from well-established existing manufacturers to new names such as Byton, Lordstown, and Rivian. We've compiled a list of every electric vehicle from concept to production that isn't available yet but will be soon. 1. A Spark Owl. Expected in 2021. The Spark Owl hypercar is the first of what the Japanese EV maker promises will be a lineup of high-dollar hypercars. The Owl produces 1984 horsepower from 4 electric motors, what it claims is a unique torque vectoring system, and a 64.0 kilowatts lithium-ion battery pack that Spark promises will deliver 280 miles of driving range. The Owl's claimed top speed is 249 miles per hour, and it'll cost $3.2 million. Production will be limited to 50 units worldwide, and deliveries will begin in mid-2020. 2. Audi A6 e-tron. Expected in 2022. The Audi A6 e-tron is a concept for now, but Audi says it's super close to what the production car will look like. It's based on the scalable premium platform electric PPE architecture that can be lengthened, lifted, and widened for a variety of different EV models. It will be sold alongside the gas-powered A6, and likely the first EV we'll see on the PPE platform that underpins future electric autos. The A6 e-tron concept uses 2 electric motors with a combined output of 469 horsepower. All PPE vehicles have 800-volt charging capability, and this big sedan could have as much as 400 miles of range on a single charge. 3. Audi Q4 e-tron and Q4 Sportback e-tron. Expected in 2021. As you might expect from its name, the Q4 e-tron and its sharp-looking Sportback version will slot in between Audi's Q3 and Q5 crossovers in size. In the middle of this Audi sandwich is an all-electric compact SUV. Like many of the Volkswagen Group's upcoming EV models, it will ride on the company's MEB platform. The Q4 e-trons fit in a segment with the Tesla Model Y and Volvo XC40 Recharge. Base models will start with a 201 HP electric motor and a 77.0 kilowatts battery pack and should start around $45,000. An all-wheel drive model will also be offered with 295 horsepower and a range of up to 250 miles. Both Q4 e-tron models will support charging speeds of up to 125 kilowatts. Audi told us they'll start selling dual-motor models first as soon as fall 2021. 4. BMW i4. Expected in late 2021. BMW's first iCars, the i3 and i8, relied upon wild, futuristic designs to make a statement. The next model in the electric sub-brand has far more conventional styling, as it's intended to be similar to the 4 Series Gran Coupe 4-door hatchback. BMW has already announced that the i4 will have 530 HP and an 80.0 kilowatts battery pack, with a range of up to 300 miles. 150 kilowatt charging will allow the i4 to recharge up to 80% of the car's driving range in as little as 35 minutes. It should go on sale sometime in 2021. 5. BMW iX. Expected in 2023. The iX is slated to go on sale by early 2022. Of course, Europe will get it before we do. It's intended as a flagship for BMW's expanded i family of electrified vehicles. BMW's goals for the 9 sound promising: an SUV with a combined output of 500 horsepower with 300 miles of range. BMW also said that it will support DC fast charging up to 200 kilowatts. If you can find a charger that powerful, the 9 should replenish its battery from 10 to 80% in under 40 minutes. The iX is roughly the same size as the current X5. 6. Bollinger B1. Expected in 2022. From a Michigan-based startup come a pair of utilitarian-looking high-end vehicles, including this B1 SUV, each priced at $125,000 and expected to start reaching customers in 2021. They're targeted at people who are prepared to add a lot of options at extra cost to what's already a high-end SUV or truck. Both SUV and truck are claimed to offer 614 horsepower, 668 lb-ft of torque, and a 4.5 second 0 to 60 mph time. The Bollinger B1's 120.0 kilowatts battery pack is said to offer up to 200 miles of range. Other specs include a 5,000-pound payload capacity and 15 inches of ground clearance. 7. Bollinger B2. Expected in 2022, the Bollinger B2 pickup has foldable and removable body panels, Jeep Gladiator style, plus locking differentials, disconnecting sway bars front and rear, and up to 20 inches of ground clearance to seal its off-road cred. From there it gets interesting. The B2 will feature both front and rear tailgates, geared axle hubs, a hydro-pneumatic suspension, and the ability to carry 16-foot pieces of lumber with the tailgate closed. The B2 will cost $125,000, with Bollinger currently taking deposits for an expected 2022 on-sale date. 8. Byton M-Byte concept. Expected in mid-2021. Byton's M-Byte and K-Byte concepts, a crossover and a sedan, were first seen at the CES Technology Show last January. They're the leading edge of what's expected to be a flood of electric vehicles from the Chinese startup, which has only been around since 2016. European countries will get to buy them first, but we expect the M-Byte to start at $45,000 in the US. The 272 HP rear-wheel drive model has a 72.0 kilowatts battery, as well as two versions with a larger, 95.0 kilowatts pack, a 408 HP all-wheel drive version and a rear-wheel drive model. Byton says the smaller battery pack can provide up to 224 miles of range, and the larger 95 kilowatts battery is good for up to 286 miles. 9. Cadillac Lyriq. Expected in 2022. The first electric Cadillac is almost here, and will be built in Spring Hill, Tennessee alongside other future GM electric vehicles. The Lyriq will be sold in both single-motor rear-wheel drive and dual-motor all-wheel drive variants. Cadillac says it will have a range of more than 300 miles on a single charge, using GM's modular platform and Ultium scalable battery architecture. Although details are still hush-hush, Cadillac says the Lyriq will likely offer a battery with about 100 kilowatts worth of capacity, with DC fast charging standard. Photos of the Lyriq's giant 33.0-inch curved LED display have been shared, and Cadillac recently partnered with a digital design company that's worked on video games and movies for its look and feel. 10. Cadillac Celestiq. Expected sometime before 2025. The Cadillac Celestiq was teased this year as the company's electric four-seat hatchback. Like every future GM EV, it will be built on GM's Ultium battery platform and will likely have a driving range of 300 miles or more. Dual-motor all-wheel drive is also available, and will also have four-wheel steering, likely the same system as already showcased from the GMC Hummer EV. It also features a 4-panel smart glass roof that can change its level of transparency over each passenger. This will likely be Cadillac's EV flagship, and start around $100,000. More details coming soon. 11. Canoo pickup truck. Expected in 2024. Canoo is an electric automotive startup from California, and this is its pickup. For now, it is called pickup truck. The Canoo pickup promises 600 horsepower and 200 miles of range. It's smaller than what's typically found in the midsize pickup segment, being 2 feet shorter than the Ford Ranger. Canoo says its pickup will be offered with a 6 to 8 foot pickup bed, and that it will be available for pre-order mid-2021, with production starting in 2023. 12. Canoo van. Expected late 2021. Like Canoo's pickup, this 7-seat EV is built on a skateboard platform, similar to what BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen used to easily swap body steels on similar underpinnings. Canoo is testing a subscription service that would allow consumers to use and pay for the EV only when it's needed, like Netflix. Canoo claims this little bus will have a range of 250 miles and 300 horsepower. Details on subscription cost or initial cost haven't been revealed yet, but expect more information as we get closer to 2022. 13. Chevrolet Silverado Electric. Expected in 2024. Turns out the GMC Hummer EV and SUV were a little taste of what we'll see from Chevy's upcoming all-electric Silverado. They'll be built under the same roof and using GM's Ultium battery pack, offering up to 400 miles on a single charge. Chevy told us earlier that it plans to offer its Silverado EV from work truck trim up to a fully loaded pickup. Chevy hasn't made clear when production will start, but if they wish to deliver on their promise of 30 new EVs by 2025, we think the battery-powered Silverado will be here soon enough. 14. Faraday Future FF91. Expected in 2023. The Faraday Future FF91 once looked like it was going to make waves, but will it ever reach production? We first saw the FF91 at CES 2017, and the startup then said the car was production ready. It boasts a claimed 1050 horsepower from 2 rear-mounted electric motors, plus an available front-mounted motor. Faraday Future claims the big crossover can blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds. A 130.0 kilowatts battery pack created in partnership with LG Chem is said to provide an estimated 378-mile range. On-sale date is TBA. 15. Ford F-150 Lightning. Expected in 2021. Building off its storied best-selling history and recent partnership with Rivian, Ford is looking to make an all-electric version of the F-150 pickup, and it'll be called Lightning. The company hopes it will be brawny enough to avoid alienating its central customer base, while also drawing in new shoppers interested in owning a pickup without the carbon footprint of a gasoline engine. The Ford F-150 electric pickup truck is expected on sale in 2021, putting it squarely in the middle of the fray when Tesla, General Motors, Bollinger, and others are bringing out their electric trucks. It's too soon for detailed specs, but Ford did pull off an impressive stunt when it had an electric F-150 tow 1 million pounds of naturally F-150 pickups loaded onto rail cars. Stand by for the inevitable Tesla Cybertruck versus Ford F-150 electric truck comparisons. 16. Genesis Essentia. Expected in 2023. Very much a concept, the Genesis Essentia is a slick luxury coupe that is possibly planned for production. Hyundai invested $90 million in the Croatian carmaker Rimac, which specializes in battery electric supercars, a year after this concept debuted. If it happens, it would be the first EV from Hyundai's luxury brand. 17. Genesis Electrified G80. Expected, late 2021. If it weren't for the plug up its nose, it might look like any Genesis G80, but it's not. The electrified G80 is battery and electric motors only. There aren't many details available yet, but we know it's supposed to have up to 310 miles of range, fast charging capability, and all-wheel drive standard. Hopefully it's on sale by late 2021, but it's possible we won't see it until the following year. Expect pricing to start above the $48,745 starting price of the gas-powered G80. 18. GMC Hummer. Expected in 2021. The GMC Hummer EV is expected to come as both an SUV and pickup. It will be offered with a 1, 2, and 3 motor with a promised 1,000 horsepower with an insane 11,500 lb-ft of torque. GMC announced it would have removable roof panels, 4-wheel drive, and a 4-wheel steering crab walk mode. The Hummer's debut was initially delayed due to the global pandemic, but GMC still plans to start deliveries of the 3-motor 1,000 HP First Edition model, which starts at $112,595 by the end of 2021. 19. Hyundai Ioniq 5. Expected, late 2021. Hyundai will launch a new all-electric sub-brand named Ioniq, which kicks off with the midsize Ioniq 5 crossover. It will ride on the new eGMP platform from Hyundai and Kia, and the company has a goal of producing 23 battery electric vehicles globally by 2025. Hyundai claims the Ioniq 5 will have fast charging capability that can take the battery from a 5% to an 80% charge in as little as 18 minutes. We expect range to be somewhere between 258 and 290 miles per charge. 20. Jeep Wrangler Magneto EV. Expected, early 2022. Jeep is working on a battery-powered version of the iconic Wrangler off-road SUV. This Magneto concept was revealed as part of the Easter Jeep Safari. On the surface it looks like your typical two-door Wrangler Rubicon, but on the inside the Magneto has 4 battery packs with a combined output of 285 horsepower. A 6-speed manual is also on board, as Jeep says the motor will regenerate power when you use the clutch to prevent rev hang and give a little back to the batteries. Don't get too excited, as this isn't the real thing yet, but expect the production model later to arrive in 2022. 21. Kia EV6. Expected, in 2022. The Kia EV6 is one of 11 new electric Kias promised by 2026. The EV6 rides on the same eGMP architecture as the Hyundai Ioniq 5, and we expect to see roughly 215 horsepower with a range between 258 to 290 miles. This is pure speculation, as many EV6 details and specifications are still TBA. 22. Lagonda All-Terrain. Expected, in 2023. Aston Martin has relaunched the Lagonda name as an all-electric luxury brand for the upper crust. Its wagon hull rides on the same platform as the Aston Martin DBX, which makes us wonder how close an electric DBX is from production. Aston boss Andy Palmer told us that he expects electric models to have performance similar to the brand's gasoline equivalents, and that he expects more than 300 miles between visits to the plug. 23. Lexus EV SUV. Expected, in 2022 or sooner. Although Lexus is a little late to the party, the luxury brand has announced it will eventually offer an EV drivetrain called Direct 4. It showcased an SUV prototype with the technology in 2020, with front and rear electric motors that produce 201 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque each. Total output is unknown. Although the prototype vehicles testing Direct 4 are likely very pre-production test mules, we expect the real thing to be a compact crossover that's close to the Lexus NX in size. 24. Lordstown Endurance. Expected, late 2021. The Lordstown Motors Endurance electric pickup truck, announced the same day as the Tesla Cybertruck, which is perhaps not merely a coincidence, is Lordstown's first vehicle. Lordstown didn't release many details for the truck, but they are taking $1,000 deposits on the $52,500 pickup. The truck will have a 4-wheel drive hub motor system with a claimed 250-mile range, and will be built in Lordstown, Ohio, formerly the site of a GM plant. Deliveries for the vehicle will start sometime in 2021. 25. Lotus Evija. Expected, late 2021. Lotus is planning on making another track-ready carbon fiber car, but in a twist, which it makes 1254 lb-ft of. It'll be all-wheel drive, make an absurd 1972 horsepower, and, gasp, will be an EV. Lotus is planning to call this monster the Evija, and only 130 will be made, at a price of $2.1 million each. There's no word on what range can be expected, but Lotus claims that it can charge up to 80% in 12 minutes thanks to ultra-fast charging rates. Other track-ready goodies include a pushrod-operated rear suspension and extensive aerodynamic bits that include a diffuser with a drag reduction system and an adjustable rear wing. 26. Lucid Air. Expected, in 2021. This California startup, founded in 2007 as a battery technology company, announced it would build a Tesla-fighting electric four-door sedan in 2016, but the car's actual arrival seemed in question until recently. In 2020 though, Lucid Motors received a $1 billion investment from Saudi Arabia and in November broke ground on its future assembly plant in Casa Grande, Arizona. It has also partnered with Electrify America's network of chargers, so the promised luxury sedan looks a lot closer to reality now. Lucid promises 406 miles of range, 480 horsepower, plus over-the-air updates and autonomous driving technology for its base model. The Air starts at $77,400. The company announced it will start production in 2021, after the factory's first stage of construction is completed. 27. Mazda MX-30. Expected in 2022 or 2023. Mazda's first fully electric vehicle, the MX-30, is a quirky small crossover with rear half-doors reminiscent of the RX-8 sports car. Confirmed for the US market, but if it does come, we think it will arrive sometime in late 2022. Initial specs show a tiny, 35.5 kilowatts battery pack, which provides a short 124-mile driving range. In global markets, the MX-30 makes 144 horsepower from its front-wheel drive electric motor. Mazda has also talked about using a small rotary engine as a range extender for an EV, but hasn't detailed that powertrain for the MX-30 yet. 28. Mercedes-Benz EQA. Expected in 2022. Mercedes-Benz's new EV lineup will be referred to as the EQ family. The Mercedes-Benz EQA, the company's smallest electric compact SUV, was revealed earlier this year in Europe spec form. The Euro version of the EQA has 187 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque and starting at around $57,000. Mercedes-Benz suggested an EQA in the US could have all-wheel drive with around 280 horsepower. Ours would likely have a range of 250 miles. Expect to see more EQA news later this year. 29. Mercedes-Benz EQB. Expected in 2022. The Mercedes-Benz EQB is nearly ready for its big debut. It's based on the GLB class SUV, and will have at least 221 horsepower with between 200 and 250 miles of range. There's also an available third row, but its size is better suited for two. Hopefully an all-wheel drive powertrain would be available here in the US. We'll update this space as information is available. 30. Mercedes-Benz EQC. Expected, maybe in 2022. The Mercedes-Benz EQC 404matic, Mercedes' first electric vehicle, is a compact crossover with an estimated range of 200 miles. Mercedes-Benz announced in February 2021 that they had decided to not offer the EQC in the United States for now. So they're saying there's a chance, right? We tested the EQC this past spring and found it hewed closely to the values Mercedes is known for: comfort, quietness, and precision in steering. It comes with two electric motors which offer all-wheel drive, and a claimed 4.9 seconds 0 to 60 mph time. 31. Mercedes-Benz EQE. Expected in 2022. Somewhere between Tesla Model 3 and Model S size, the Mercedes-Benz EQE hasn't been revealed yet, but we wouldn't be surprised to see it sometime in 2021. It's based on Mercedes' modular MEA architecture, a platform said to yield more interior space than a gasoline-powered vehicle of the same exterior dimensions. The all-wheel drive EQE will have electric motors in both front and back. C/D has estimated the EQE's range at around 200 miles. 32. Mercedes-Benz EQS. Expected, late 2021. The S-Class flagship sedan occupies a special place in Mercedes-Benz lineup, and the S in the upcoming EQS electric vehicle's name suggests that it too will have a lofty mission. EQ designates this new model as part of Mercedes' electric sub-brand, and spy photos suggest that it will have an odd body shape that's not quite a sedan, not quite a hatchback, not quite a crossover, but more of a mishmash of all three. A Daimler chairman says the EQS EV will have a WLTP range of over 435 miles, 329 to 516 horsepower, rear or all-wheel drive, and it should arrive later in 2021. 33. Mercedes-Benz G-Class Electric. Expected in 2022. Daimler CEO Ola Källenius recently said that the company plans to build an electric G-Class, although it's most likely that we'll see a plug-in hybrid version of the classic G-Wagon before we see an all-electric version. When the EV model does arrive, likely sometime around 2022, we can expect that it'll be called the EQG. After all, Mercedes' current electric SUV is called the EQC, and we've seen spy photos of the electric S-Class that's likely to be called EQS. 34. Nissan Ariya. Expected, late 2021. The Nissan Ariya is Nissan's second fully electric vehicle and builds on what Nissan has created with the Leaf. Nissan said the most powerful version of this electric crossover has 389 HP, while the longest-range model promises to go 300 miles on a charge. It'll feature Nissan's new semi-autonomous driving system, ProPilot 2.0, and a dual front/rear motor drive configuration. The Ariya will arrive in Japan first, but the US will see it sometime later in 2021 with a starting price of around $40,000. 35. Pininfarina Battista. Expected, late 2021. The Pininfarina Battista is an 1,873 horsepower EV coupe that uses Rimac carbon chassis and EV powertrain, also found in the Rimac C2, to reach a claimed 186 miles per hour in less than 12 seconds. Its top speed is a claimed 217 miles per hour. It's an EV hypercar, and last year completed its first high-speed test at the Nardo test track in Italy with one of 9 of its prototypes. Expect a price tag over $2 million, but don't expect to ever see one at your local Cars and Coffee. Deliveries are said to begin later in 2021. 36. Porsche Macan EV. Expected in 2023. Porsche recently announced that the next generation of its Macan crossover will go full electric. The Porsche Macan EV will be based on the premium platform electric (PPE) platform that is being co-developed with Audi. It will have the same 800-volt tech as the next Taycan, and will probably share its electric motors and battery packs too. Porsche plans to start production of the Macan EV in 2022. 37. Rivian R1T. Expected in 2021. American startup Rivian has a production-ready truck, called the Rivian R1T, prepared to take the EV truck fight to the likes of Bollinger and Tesla. The R1T comes standard with all-wheel drive, the ability to tow up to 11,000 pounds, adjustable air suspension, and level 3 autonomous driving capabilities. The 3 battery packs that are available are 105.0, 135.0, and 180.0 kilowatts, with ranges of 230, 300, and 400 miles, respectively. Rivian claims that models equipped with the 180.0 kilowatts pack can hit 60 miles per hour in a supercar like 3.0 seconds. Look for Rivian R1T to start moving toward the marketplace in 2021 with a starting price of around $69,000. 38. Rivian R1S. Expected in 2021. The people at the startup Rivian aren't just making an electric truck, they're making an electric SUV too. Built on the same platform as the R1T, the R1S shares the same battery pack options and ranges as its truck sibling. In fact, the main differences between the truck and SUV are that the SUV can only tow 7,716 pounds to the truck's 11,000, and that the SUV can seat up to 7 compared to the truck's 5. The R1S is set to compete against the likes of the Tesla Model X, and will go on sale in 2020 just after the R1T, with a starting price of $72,500. 39. Subaru and Toyota Future EVs. Expected in 2021. Subaru and Toyota are jointly producing a pair of electric SUVs that will share a platform. The platform the two manufacturers are collaborating on will be 4 midsize and large passenger vehicles. Neither automaker currently offers a fully electric vehicle in the US, but it's possible the new EVs built on this platform will hit the market as soon as 2021. 40. Tesla Cybertruck. Expected, early 2022. To say that the design of the Tesla Cybertruck is polarizing is a massive understatement, and the Cybertruck itself is massive, a hunk made of stainless steel and hubris that we estimate could weigh upward of 9,000 pounds in its production version. CEO Elon Musk has claimed as many as 200,000 would-be buyers have put down deposits in less than a week after the Cybertruck's unveiling on November 21st. Its dimensions, which are similar to those for the market-dominating Ford F-150, and its stainless steel unibody make it an intriguing potential addition to the coming glut of EV pickup trucks. The first, lowest range version, 250-plus miles, is claimed to be priced starting under $40,000, with a production time that will be near later in 2021. 41. Tesla Roadster. Expected, in 2022. The Tesla Roadster's second generation has been announced for 2020. It has a claimed 0 to 60 mph time of 1.9 seconds, an 8.8-second quarter-mile time, and a top speed of 250 miles per hour. The Roadster will likely have an all-wheel drive system with a pair, or maybe even 3, electric motors that, along with a 200.0 kilowatts battery pack, can give this two-door a range of up to 620 miles. We expect the starting price to be around $200,000, a worthy price if the Roadster can live up to the performance claims. 42. Toyota bZ4X concept. Expected, in 2022. Toyota promised a plethora of new electric vehicles sometime before 2025, 7 of which will use the BZ model name. The bZ4X name rolls off the tongue like reading a Wi-Fi password aloud, but it's a peek into what Toyota's electric future will look like. It's pretty much the RAV4 EV, but Toyota hasn't hinted at range, charging speed, but did tell us it will use the ETNGA platform. A platform created through a partnership with Subaru. The platform allows for single-motor front or rear-wheel drive setups or dual-motor, all-wheel drive models. We expect pricing to start around $40,000, or at least a little more than the plug-in hybrid RAV4 Prime. 43. Volkswagen ID Buzz. Expected, in 2023. VW's second EV, launching in 2023, will be a modern take on its first-generation Type 2 microbus from the 1950s and 1960s. As with its revival of the Beetle in the late 1990s, VW hopes the new microbus, or whatever its name is for production, tugs at the heartstrings of boomers everywhere. As with its other coming EVs, the Buzz will use the same MEB platform component set, with a battery pack integrated into the floor, and will likely have room for 6 to 8 people. 44. Volkswagen ID Space Vision. Expected, in 2022. The Volkswagen ID Space Vision concept made its debut at the Los Angeles Auto Show, where it looked very production-ready. It will be VW's third US EV offering, coming in 2022. Although wagons are a perpetually tough sell in the US, VW touts its large interior and high aerodynamic efficiency, which help to boost the large wagon's range to a claimed 300 miles. 45. Volvo C40 Recharge. Expected, early 2022. Volvo already sells a 402 HP XC40 Recharge with 208 miles of range. The C40 Recharge is essentially the sportback version of that vehicle, and unlike the XC40, it is only offered as an EV. The C40 shares the same powertrain as the XC40 Recharge, with 2 electric motors and 75.0 kWh battery pack. It's also the same powertrain the Polestar 2 uses. Volvo estimates the C40 to have an EPA-rated driving range of 210 miles. We expect pricing to start around $55,000, with more details about the C40 Recharge to come when production begins later in 2021. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon to stay connected. Peace.